Hi there, everybody. I'm Wendy Margolin, and I help clinicians grow your practice with content marketing. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're tuning in. But the truth is that you're probably busy by the pool with your kids at the beach or hustling at work so that you can get off and do those things. So that is why I want to talk to you today, whether you're watching now or later, about how to increase your social media engagement in the summer, especially. Now, what I have to say will apply to in the future as well. In the fall, social media is always changing, but a lot of what I want to talk about will apply later as well. So I want to let you know, first of all, if you've seen a drop in your engagement on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you're hanging out, that is perfectly normal in the summer. I love summer as much as the next girl. I'm in Chicago and we have the worst seasons ever. So summer makes me very, very happy. But I can tell you from years of experience of social media marketing, digital marketing, that summer is a really slow time on your social media channels unless you are a particular product or service that is relevant specifically to summer. So if you're something that people can take care of later, maybe even it's just the end of the summer, like if you are a clinician who does back to school checkups, things like that, an eye doctor, dentist, all those sorts of things, you might get busy again. People start putting their heads up, looking around again toward the end of August or so. So they might start calling again. But mid-July and really just like mid-June to mid-July, late July, it is a slow time for a lot of us on social media. So give me a hello if you are watching. Let me know who's here. I'm in StreamYard, so I actually can't see who's tuning in on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're at. So give me a hello and let me know who's watching. And so we are going to talk about how you can boost your engagement. A few things that I am doing on my channels, my clients' channels that I am finding are working well. And we know from some of this relates to all the social media channels, but a lot of it relates only to Instagram. So we know from Instagram exactly what works, and I'm going to get to that. Okay, so let's dive in and first figure out what is your goal on social media. I've talked about this before, but I think it's really important to reiterate this again and again, whether you've heard it or not. And what it is that you as a clinician need to know what is your goal on social media. So your goal might be to grow really big, have a really big impact. There are clinicians out there who are looking to be like the next Brené Brown, a clinician celebrity, right? An influencer. They wouldn't call it those things, but they really want to have a very big impact. So that is someone who needs to grow a big social media following. Now, let's say you are someone who is in private practice and you're looking to expand to a group practice. Maybe you brought on one more person and you need to fill up their schedule. You've gotten pretty full, but people always want to meet with you. And you need to get word out to get a bigger wait list so that people want to come and visit with the other clinicians who you have hired. So that would be a reason where you'd want to put some more effort into growing your social media following, having a bigger impact. But let's just say that right now you are busy. You maybe have a wait list. I know, especially with the therapists I work with, a lot of you guys have a wait list. Let's say that directories are working well for you, like Psychology Today or whatever else you're on. And let's say you aren't really proactively looking to bring on more people. So that might be a reason where all your goal on social media is to be there. It's a landing place for people who are going to look there before a website, because let's face it, a lot of people know that your social media is the thing that you're updating, and that's where they can get the latest information on what's happening in your practice and just in the world related to your industry. So they're going to check your social media before they check your website. So your social media might be working a lot like a website used to work. Well, websites still work like this, but we used to only use websites like this. But now people also use social media like this, right? They want to contact you, so they go into your DMs. They want to see if you're open. They want to check your hours. They want to see what's the latest information on should they on vaccines or masks or anxiety or whatever it is, whatever tips that you share. those kinds of things in your social content, it might just be a place where people find you. It might not be a place where they necessarily engage with you a ton. It depends on what your practice is. But I find that a lot of people who are posting to social media, it is a place where you get known, but it's not a place where you get a ton of engagement. And a lot of your engagement might be coming from other clinicians, people in your industry, people in parallel industries, your friends, and all of that is fine, because the people who come to you are not necessarily the people who engage with you the most. This is true really for a lot of service providers, but it's especially true for clinicians. So that's the first thing. Know your goals. If your goal is to just let people know what it's like to know, like, and trust you, have some videos they could see like what your personality is like, what your advice is like, if it resonates with them, then that is one purpose. And all it takes to do that is to be consistent, show a little bit of your personality, have content that's going up on a consistent basis that relates to your industry and shows your audience that you are the right person to solve their problem. It's not necessarily a huge outreach tool. All right. Now, let's say you want to grow. Your practice is new. You got to get the word out. You have a new provider. You want to move to a group. You want to have workshops. You have a product that maybe you want to sell. I have some team who took my course when I offered it in May, and they are selling these very cute speech therapy boxes. So if you want to do something like that to expand your practice and your business, your income streams, then you are going to want to grow on social media. So you want to grow, and it's a little harder right now because you are not a travel agent and you are not a swimsuit company, whatever. It's hard to sell. I don't want to use the word sell. Clinicians don't like the word sell, but let's be honest, that's what we're all doing, is trying to get people to use our services. But you want people to find out about you and follow you and ideally engage with you. So if that's you, listen up. I've got some advice for you that I think I know can help you because I'm seeing it work for my clients. So the first thing is, now hang on, don't freak out because I'm going to explain this. The first thing is Reels. So on Instagram, I'm sure you know what Reels are. If you are on Instagram, you've seen a ton of them and you've maybe dabbled in them. You maybe haven't. Here's the thing about Reels. Reels is Instagram's like version of sort of TikTok. And for you as a clinician, it does not mean that you have to dance, although you certainly could. You can check out GastroDoc, I think is her name. She's adorable. She does a ton of dancing. There's a few clinicians who do a ton of really fun dancing on there, but that does not have to be you. That's certainly not me. And I do a lot of Reels, so it doesn't have to be you. You don't have to do anything uncomfortable, anything outside of what you feel is professional and your personality, but you still can have a very big impact. So basically Reels are 15 to 30 second videos for video commercials for your practice or your business. All right. That is it. As a business owner, that's essentially what it is. You can have a lot more fun with it. You could make it the dancey TikTok thing, but it doesn't have to be. It really can be a 15 to 30 second commercial for your practice. That's Reels. Now, just last month, the end of last month, I think June 30th, I looked it up this morning because I'm working on a blog. So Adam Mosseri, who runs Instagram, he announced that Instagram is no longer a Square photo sharing app. It is now so much more than that. And it is a place for Reels and video and stories and GIFs and all these things. It's not just a place where you post your Square photos. Now, again, if you don't have a huge goal of growth and engagement, then go on and keep posting your photos. That is okay. Just know that it's not going to be super effective. So what has been super effective are Reels. So let me just give you an example. I looked this up this morning. So I hope I don't embarrass her, but she's one of my best friends. So I feel comfortable sharing this without asking. So my friend Sunny Levy is a 7th level degree black belt in Taekwondo. She's phenomenal. She's my daughter's coach and she is our inspiration and you should follow her. Okay, so Sunny does a wonderful video. She's been doing great videos for a long time. She has a knack for it. It's not hard for her. They're interesting. They're fun. They're educational. They're just fun to watch. The kinds of things that would do really, really well. Now, she doesn't have a huge following. It's under 1,000. And I saw she kept posting videos that could just as easily be a reel. Now, because Instagram is favoring Reels in their algorithm, I nagged her a few times and finally she did it. She literally posted the same style of video. You can check it out on her page. You look up Sunny Levy with an I. Levy's with an I. Sunny's with a Y. She kicks up clothes and she does this crazy taekwondo spinny kick, and then she changes quickly, and you can see that like her outfit changes. It's cool to watch. So she did one as a video, and then she did the same kind of one as a reel. The Reels one got over twice the number of views. So Reels are performing really well, and you should try them. So if that interests you, I want to encourage you to join me next week. I'm doing a 5-day Reels challenge. I will announce it on my Instagram. I'm at wendy.margolin. And you can join there. All you have to do is let me know you're joining. And then each day I will be sending out some tips and a reel of mine with instructions how you can do it yourself. And literally you just copy it. So that is Reels. It reaches more people. It is a way that a lot of people have been able to quickly build their following. I don't want to overpromise because I think a lot of people try and make it sound much easier than it is. It does take time. It gets much faster. There are people who have like grown their accounts exponentially. Not all of us are willing to do are as dramatic and as into dancing and as interested in like changing our clothes multiple times for one reel, like all those kinds of things that work really well. Those kinds of things that make people get tens of thousands of followers in a few short months. So that happens for some people, but it's definitely not the norm. But the norm, I can tell you, the norm, even with a small account, is that you will get significantly more views and interactions than you normally get with a reel versus like a post or a video. So that's why I want to encourage you to try it if you have a goal of getting more engagement and more followers and having a bigger impact with Instagram. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I am seeing work really well on Instagram and on LinkedIn is a carousel type post. Now, carousel is like when you slide and there's like multiple square images that slide. So those work really well on Instagram, and on LinkedIn, they work really well too. There's just a slight difference here on LinkedIn. So it's funny, you have to actually save it as a PDF and upload it like a PDF document to LinkedIn, and it'll display like a carousel with slides the same way that it does on Instagram. So a little hack there for you. But what I found is working really well with carousels for my clients is to take either to teach something. So you've got like kind of like a header image is the first slide where you let people know what it's about and that they should swipe. And then you maybe have like 2 points, 3 points, and then you have a final slide that's like a call to action. So they work really well. And then you have a caption that goes into more detail. They're interesting to look at. They don't have to be have incredible graphics. It can be pretty basic and still perform well. And if you want to try that, I highly recommend it. But an additional way to make that even more powerful is something that I am starting to do on Fridays. So on Fridays, I encourage people to follow other accounts, right? So one example would be, people making a big impact with Reels. One example would be new practices you should follow. One example would be people who are having great stories, people who are doing a lot of teaching, like whatever it is. I'm coming up with like certain categories where I come up with 2 to 3 people that I follow that I want to recommend that you should follow as well. And in my carousels on Fridays, I am sharing like a cover slide of what is the topic. And then I share a little highlight of what I love about that other person. So you see what I did there? I'm able to highlight someone else. It's not about me. I'm able to still teach something that I want to teach, show through example what I think is performing well and is interesting and of note. And I'm able to tag those people. So it turns a carousel into something that's a lot more social and not just educational. So that's another thing that you could try. All right, so the third thing that I highly recommend is, and this will work on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, is to get a direct message strategy. So your direct message strategy can be really basic or it can be more complex, like an email strategy. I will probably do a live just on this when I have the whole thing fleshed out more and can explain it better. But the basics is this. So on LinkedIn, when you connect with someone, it asks you if you want to add a note. You should absolutely always add a note. So a note is something where you want to add like a little tidbit that's personal about why you're connecting. Maybe, so for me, it would be, maybe it's a clinician in Chicago. That would just be someone that I could start with, or a clinician anywhere. I serve people everywhere, but it helps if you have something in common. So it could be a clinician from my college. It could be from my home state, Ohio. So then you have like a little nugget that you can say that you relate to them through this. And when you're doing this on LinkedIn, you want to connect with your second degree connections. So people where you each have a mutual connection, and you say, and so a note would be something like, hey, I'm Wendy. We're both connected to Jen Smith, and I'm also from Ohio, and I help clinicians grow their practice with content marketing. Nice to see you here, or something like that, and sign my name. That would be it. That could be something that I can have like saved in my daily scheduler type thing. I can just literally copy and paste it in. I'm not spending extra time. I'm adding a little bit so it's different. And then from there, usually what happens is they will accept my connection, and then right away I go straight into their direct messages. So in the near future, they'll see my content, but they'll also see my message and hopefully get back to me. Now, you can do this same thing with Instagram and Facebook. So when someone connects to you on Instagram, and it is someone who's your ideal client, it's not someone who's like trying to get you to be a client or your ideal patient. It's, and this is obviously a little bit different. If you are in therapy, you would do this more, you're not going to like follow people who maybe would come to you for therapy. That's sort of weird. You just kind of let them follow you, but maybe it's like a colleague who you would collaborate with or something like that. So it'd still apply there. So you can do the same thing there. You just let people know, hey, I'm Wendy, and thanks for following me, and give a little nugget about yourself, a little bit about them. One thing I like to do a lot of times is if I can give a tip right away, because what I teach is a lot of social media. So if I can give like a quick tip for their bio, I'll do that. Or it could just be like, hey, I see you're in Colorado. That's my favorite state. Think of me when you look at the mountains. I'm Wendy, and I help clinicians grow your practice with content marketing, that sort of thing. A lot of times people get back to you and you can continue the conversation. So the simple step would just to have that first message and see where the conversation goes. A more like higher level direct message strategy would be where you have thought out some ways that you can help your audience, and you're putting that into short little messages, sort of the way that you would have like an email welcome series. So taking your email welcome series, tightening that up, and sharing a little bit about yourself, but asking mostly about them and offering a way that you can help them. So for me, it would be maybe a fun thing about me, about summer or something like that. Ask them a question about them, and then let them know I have a lot of free training, or are you working on your website? I have a framework that you could use, or whatever it is. So that would be the direct message strategy. All right, so let's just review, because I talked about a lot of things. One is Reels. Get on it. If you want to join me next week, I'm doing a 5-day Reels challenge. Leave me a yes in the comments, DM me, or click on the link that I'm going to post as soon as I'm off live. So that's the first one. Second is try out carousels. If you want to give that even more of a boost, you could make them super social. And the third technique is to get into the direct messages. And those are the things that really lead to conversions, bringing people into your world. So that is it. And I know that a lot of this sounds like a lot, especially if you don't have support from a virtual assistant or someone on your team who helps you. So what I want to say to that is my goal is to really make social media as easy as possible for you as a busy clinician. So to that end, I am starting the Social Media Clinicians Club. It is starting in August, so you can join the wait list now, but basically it's going to be monthly social media fill in the blank captions that you can take and customize as your own. These aren't prompts, they're really fill in the blank captions. So there's that. And then it's also going to be Canva templates that go together with the captions that I'm providing. So it's really going to be like step 1, step 2, fill in the blank, schedule it. All right. And I'm coming up with all sorts of ways to make this as easy, as quick, and as painless as possible for you to get really consistent and reach your goals on social media. So if you are already super savvy on social media, this will help you save time so that you have more time to work on things like reels or stories or going live and collaborating with other people. So that it'll help you in that way. If you're new to social media, this is a no-brainer to get active and get consistent in a super easy way with engaging posts that are already ready for you and written with you as a clinician in mind. So that will open in August. It's going to be $47 a month. You can cancel at any time, but I hope that you won't, because I'm going to do my very best to serve you with exactly what you need. And I definitely welcome your feedback in order to make that happen. So stay tuned. I will put a link in the comments where you can join that waitlist. And I hope to see you next week with the 5-day Instagram Reels challenge. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. And think of me if you are sitting by the pool. All right, bye.